Thokozani, Dimelang, Khanya, Lisedi. Hello everyone, welcome back to the one-on-one sessions with Gogo Musore, and I'm your host Gogo, and giving you guys tips, lessons and teachings on everything spirituality. So it has literally been 3 months since I uploaded a video. I know it's been such a long time, but I am back and I'm wishing you guys a happy new year. I hope 2023 has the best things in store for you guys, and yeah, all the best basically. And on a side note, I don't have access to my Instagram. I think it was hacked. But I don't really use it all too much. So if any of you guys get a text from my Instagram, it's definitely not me. I don't do bitcoins, I don't sell anything. So yeah, that is basically it. So today I want us to talk about spiritual waters. So as usual, I have a few notes over here so I don't forget some of the things that I want to talk about, right? So regarding spiritual waters, there are different rivers, lakes, oceans, different types of waters, natural waters that we have access to in this world, and most of this natural waters are actually very spiritual, right? So they have different how do I put this, they have different benefits, different spiritual works and whatnot. So that is exactly what we're going to be getting into. So I will be talking about a specific water, like noting down the waters that I'm talking about and giving a description as to what kind of water that is and what is it used for. Okay, so starting off with this, we're gonna talk about Meetse diphororo, right? So diphororo is basically a waterfall, right? The water comes from a big river down a mountain downwards. So a lot of healers, prophets, sangomas, spiritual people go to diphororo a lot, to the waterfalls a lot, and they sit under the water, let the water splash all over them, and they pray, right? So I know a lot of people may be seeing videos or pictures of people doing that and they wonder what is that for, right? So first of all, Meetse diphororo, or the waterfall water, what it does is that it hlatswa pelo le fatla. So when I'm talking about what hlatswa pelo le fatla, what I mean is that it actually cleanses your spiritual aura, your spiritual energy. That way you'll be able to see a lot of things in detail. Spiritually, you'll be able to understand, or rather see your dreams and your visions in details without forgetting them, without misinterpreting them. A lot of things that you are shown spiritually will be in a form, or rather, how do I put this, everything that you see spiritually, you'll be able to see it correctly and understand it the way that you must. Exactly. Then secondly, forms a strong connection between you and your ancestors. So one of the major reasons why people go to diphororo is that they want to have a connection with their ancestors, to strengthen their connection with their ancestors. So this is one of the major waters that actually does that for a person. But remember that before going to these waters, actually all of them that I'm speaking about here, a person needs to know that they've done a cleansing, they don't have any ancestors by longore, they are angry with them and they can actually take them, because there are a lot of cases whereas people are taken by the water spirits and either they die or they are not seen again. So you need to be very careful with this. I believe I should have said that before starting with this video as a disclaimer, so you guys can be careful when you go there. And it's also advised that when you do go to the spiritual waters, go with a healer, a sangoma or a prophet or a longore. They know what it is that they need to do before allowing you to enter into these specific waters and whatnot, right? So as I was saying, it forms a strong connection with you and your ancestors. So this is where your ancestors will be able to come to you, to speak to you, to communicate with you, to share certain things with you, identify themselves to you. The connection between you and them is going to be very strong. The bond is going to be very, very strong between you and your ancestors. And that is basically what I believe most healers or most spiritual people are striving for, to have this solid connection with their ancestors and their spiritual guides. Number 3, it opens your third eye. So this goes hand in hand with the first point that I pointed out earlier, where Lord is going to enhance your spiritual gift, right? So with your third eye, that is where you're gonna be able to astral project, you're gonna be able to see visions and whatnot, because remember, there's a difference between normal dreams and visions, right? Visions, okay, they're pretty much the same, but visions can come in the form where they're more lucid than just normal dreams, just like that, right? So it's gonna open your third eye, meaning that it's going to align your chakras to a point whereas when your ancestors or when any spiritual entity from the light wants to speak to you, they can be able to do that without having any issues or blockages or anything that can restrict or disturb them from communicating with you in the manner that they should, right? Number 4, helps you remember your dreams and your visions. I feel like I wrote the same thing twice. Number 5, they bring healing to your body. So you might find that as a person, you have a lot of sicknesses, a lot of illnesses. Yes, not all illnesses are healed by this water, by diphororo, by the waterfall. But there are certain illnesses that require a person to actually go to this waterfall to actually find healing. So they do bring healing to a person. They strengthen your body physically. If, let's say, for example, you are attacked with a specific muti, you might find that the proper manner in which you can heal this illness is by going to diphororo. This is whereas you may be consulting to a healer or a prophet or whatever spiritual medium you could be consulting to, and this person says that your issue requires you to go to the waterfalls, right? So yes, this person will know exactly what it is that you need to do before entering the waterfall, because like I said, there are procedures to ensure that you do not upset the spirits of the water, but it does bring a lot of healing to your body if you have any problem physically that requires the water type of healing, right? Remember, there are different types of healing: herbal healing, water healing, and all that, you know. Number 6, in some cases, they can be used to cleanse their ancestors. So remember that there are situations whereas you might find that your ancestors are in the darkness, or there's a specific ancestor who's not able to come into the light, or bagarali fifi. So this is caused by numerous things, right? Maybe the person passing away through muti, maybe the person was killed via muti, or maybe the person, when they were alive, they were doing bad things, which was something that they were not supposed to do. There's just a number of reasons why an ancestor can be in the darkness, right? So what happens that when you're governed by this particular ancestor, the first thing that you will need to do is to cleanse this particular ancestor, cleanse Sidimo Sarao. And once you cleanse Sidimo Sarao, what will happen is that once you cleanse the dimsal, what will happen is that you'll be able to now use the spiritual gift that comes with that particular ancestor, right? So cleansing sidimu differs. There are certain cleansings that require this waterfall. There are certain cleansings that require a different type of water, but we will get into that in details very soon, right? And lastly, ivoifisa manaba. Okay, so what I mean by that is that it's sort of like makes your enemies very fearful of you. They are very fearful of attacking you. You know, there are those people that constantly keep attacking you left, right, and center, right? So sometimes when you use this water in a specific manner, what it does is that it brings those people to a point where they are very afraid of attacking you, because they fear that right now you are so connected with your ancestors, you're so in tune with your spirits, that if they attack you, it will all come back to them, right? So those are the properties, or rather the benefits or the uses of diphororo water. Secondly, we're going to go to Meetse kopano. So Meetse kopano is water that is interlinked with two rivers that are interlinked with each other, two rivers that are joined with each other. So the intersection, whereas these two rivers actually join with each other, is what we call kopano. Kopano actually means joined, right? So this water actually helps with your gift and strengthening your gift. So with this is when you're using this water in a specific manner, you have strength to heal certain illnesses. You have more strength in terms of how fast your herbs are able to heal other people. So a lot of healers get this water, they bathe with it, they drink with it. A lot of things are done with this particular water, but what it mainly does is that it strengthens your spiritual power, your spiritual strength in a sense, right? Another thing, like, it helps you connect with ancestors from your mother and your father's side. So you might find that there are instances or situations where as your ancestors are not working together, your ancestors are fighting each other. Yes, there are different methods in which you can actually join your ancestors and have them work together, but there is a method that is done using this particular water that you actually join your ancestors so they can work together, so they can agree on the same things, to avoid these situations where as one ancestor is saying go to the prophetic manner of healing people, whereas the other ancestor is saying that if you go there, I'm gonna block you, so go to the traditional manner of healing people. So it joins the ancestors from both sides of the family without having them continue fighting with each other over you, which is one of the major things a lot of people are encountering these days, Number 3, it can also be used to join the ancestors, like I said. Number 4, it can be used in rituals to join people and make peace within the family, right, or the home. So you might find that you live in a home where there's just a lot of fights, a lot of conflicts, there's no peace, no one gets along with each other. So there are certain rituals that are done using this particular water or this particular river to actually bring peace within the household, right, to bring peace within the family, to bring harmony. All the fights are actually eliminated. This is where, as you'll find, you and the people in your family start to communicate about certain things in a civilized manner. I'm not saying that you guys are not civilized, but I'm just saying that certain times we act on certain things in an uncivilized manner. So this water can actually join a family to a point where there's no more conflicts or fights that can actually in turn make life in the family or at home less peaceful or harmonious in a sense, right? So number 3, we have Meetse moelwa. So this is basically flowing water. This could be in a river or an ocean. The water is flowing smoothly, it's not loud, it's just smooth in a sense, right? And the sound can be a bit relaxing when you're listening to it, in a sense, if you know what I mean. I believe most of us know what flowing waters are, or Meetse moelwa are, right? So this is basically the normal rivers and oceans that we encounter on a regular basis, right? So flowing water or Meetse moelwa are actually one of the most powerful waters that I can actually talk about, right? So first things first, this water can be used to remove isdliso. Yes, there are different procedures into using it, like different healers use things differently. Understand that, know that. How I use my herbs and my water is not going to be the same as how the next person uses their herbs or their water. But one thing that you should know is that this water is wonderful in terms of removing isdliso, which is one of the best things, because sejisho is something that is actually quite normal to us at this point. Like, we're all been sent sejisho at some point. So to remove this sejisho, this water is actually perfect for it, ne? Secondly, this water can also be used as a back to the sender ritual, ne? For back to sender rituals, ne? So with back to sender rituals, it does occur that you might be taken to that water and certain rituals are done there at the water. Or what happens that a ritual is done and certain remains of whatever products that you guys were using for that ritual can be taken and dropped in that water, ne? But remember that in certain things you must affirm certain things when you do them. So but this water is wonderful for back to sender rituals, whereas kawona, since it flows, it sort of like takes whatever muti has been placed on a person and returns it back to the sender, right? But lona at moments it can take whatever muti and just let it go away just like that, because remember that water cleanses itself, meaning that even if you're not doing a back to the sender ritual with this water, what will happen is that no other person will fall victim to whatever muti has been placed on you once you've discarded whatever remains of herbs or whatever it is that you were using in this water to let it go away from you for good. But Lorna, one thing for sure is that this water is actually wonderful in making sure that whatever muti has been placed on you, let's say for example you were placed with sfulan, and certain rituals are done, certain herbs are used, and the remains of those rituals or the remains of those herbs are taken and placed in that water to go away, then that simply means that it's gonna be very difficult for the next person to actually attack you with the same muti again, which is actually the best part of it, meaning that it sort of like forms a bit of a protection to you. I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to send it to you. It is possible, but it's very difficult to do that, right? Another thing that it does is that it cleanses the darkness of the ancestors. Like I said, there are more than one waters or rivers or spiritual waters that can actually cleanse the spirits of the ancestors. So this one also does that as well, right? So not only does it cleanse the spirit of the ancestors, but it also removes things like istrito, senyama, darkness in a person's life, right? So yes, most of the times when healers take you there, you'd find that there are also certain things that they'll apply in your body, certain herbs that they'll apply in your body for you to bathe with. But yes, sometimes it can be useful for you to go bathe with the water alone on its own. But like I said, before you do that, know the necessary rituals or yeah, necessary rituals to be done before entering the water, because like I said, it can be dangerous. If you enter spiritual waters whereas you're not cleansed, you're in a lot of darkness, certain things are not done to allow the spirits of the water to welcome you, it is gonna be very dangerous for you to do that, right? And even if you have ancestors they are very upset with you to a point where they can take you, it does mean that the waters or the rivers are not safe for you. So do take note of those things before going to the rivers, right? So like I said, it cleanses the spirits of the ancestors and also cleanses darkness on a person's body, on a person in general. Another thing that it does is that it removes muti for delaying one's progress in life. So remember that iskito or darkness is not the only muti that can be used to delay your life. There are so many things that can be done to you as a person to actually delay your progress in life, right? So what this water does is that it also removes certain muti that is used to delay your progress, to make you procrastinate, to make you move in circles, because a lot of things that are done to us these days is that thing out. The muti that is placed on us is the one that makes us move in circles, to procrastinate a lot of things. That way you have these ideas, you have these amazing things that you want to put on the table and bring light to, but at the end of the day you keep delaying making those things a reality at the end of the day. So this water actually removes that kind of muti, so you can be able to progress and do things that you've planned to do your entire life, right? And also the fifth thing is that apesha motu seriti, so seriti actually means respect. So when I'm saying apesha motu seriti, I'm actually referring to, like, let's say for example you're someone who is not respected, whether you're in a high position or a low position, you just can't seem to get respect, the respect that you deserve, the respect that you believe that you should have. You just can't seem to get that. So this water, what it does is that it can also be used in certain rituals. At the end of the day, people, when they see you, they feel your presence. Okay, they feel your energy, they respect you automatically. Actually, for people by Longor, you're maybe in a high position job, or you're working with people on a regular basis, and you encounter yourself in situations whereas then people do not respect you. Using this water, doing rituals that involve these waters can actually go a mile for you. It can actually help you a lot at the end of the day, right? So anyways, that is part 1 for this video. I'm gonna do a part 2 whereas I'm gonna be looking at Meetse aleragwa, the confused waters. Saying these things in English just makes them sound weird. Meetse asidiva, which is ponds, spiritual ponds. Yeah, that's what I call it most of the time. And lastly, Meetse asipiwi, the hidden spiritual waters, right? So that's going to be in our part 2, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys understood everything regarding this water. Have a beautiful one. Thokozani. Bye bye.